What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats as well as some excellent attachment combinations for every gun in Black Ops 6. And in today's episode, we're going to be covering the returning assault rifle from Cold War. This is the FFAR-1. And starting it off as always, let's have a look at our damage profile, and with this gun, it's going to be a 5 to 7 shot kill, so fairly low damage for an assault rifle. And when it comes to headshots, well, we have a decent multiplier at 1.3. In the maximum damage range, headshots really aren't all that effective since you have to land 3 headshots mixed in with body shots in order to cut that down to a 4-shot kill, which is fairly unlikely. Beyond that range, headshots are pretty effective though, and also if you use the CHF barrel, that will cut it down to just 2 headshots required up close. But interestingly, beyond that range, the CHF barrel really isn't doing a whole lot to help you. Next, let's have a look at our rate of fire, which is the fastest in the assault rifle category at 938 rounds per minute. And what this means is we also have the fastest full auto time to kill in the assault rifle category at just 256 milliseconds. This is quite competitive with SMGs in this game. It's actually a little bit better than the average time to kill for SMGs up close, so very impressive there. And if you manage to get that 4-shot kill with a bunch of headshots mixed in, we can kill in just 192 milliseconds, but it's not super likely you're going to be doing that on a regular basis with this. As for rapid fire, this gives us a really nice boost up to 1,053 rounds per minute, and this means our new up close time to kill potential is 228 milliseconds, which is incredibly fast. Now, let's get into our range profile, and this is where the FFAR does start to fall apart a little bit, at least without attachments. That maximum damage range where we get the very impressive time to kill potential, it's only 16.5 meters. This definitely has the worst range out of the assault rifles in this game. And on top of that, our bullet velocity is the slowest in the assault rifle category at 600 meters per second, which gives us a hit scan range at 30 meters. Now, realistically in multiplayer, that's still going to be the majority of your gunfights, but this does solidify the fact that this gun really isn't designed to be used at longer ranges, and you generally want to try to keep yourself in more close quarters engagements. Now, let's get into the exciting part with the FFAR. This is our barrel attachments, and the gain twist barrel gives us a nice boost to our velocity. However, the key here, the absolute must-have attachment, is the long barrel, and the reason behind this is it gives us a 60% boost to our damage ranges. I don't think I've seen a single gun in this game that gets this much of a boost from a long barrel. Usually it's like 30 to 45%. This is a 60% boost, which is incredibly impressive when you factor in the time to kill that you're getting within this range. You're essentially now getting SMG level time to kill at roughly double the range that you would tend to see with an SMG in this game. So long barrel is effectively a must-have attachment on the FFAR. This is the key to this gun being so dominant. Now, of course, there's also the reinforced barrel, but I would just ignore it entirely just because the long barrel is so good. There's no point in even looking at the other barrels. And of course, we also have rapid fire, which will reduce our range and velocity values by 7%, but we of course get that rate of fire and time to kill improvement. As for hardcore, well, of course, everything is usable in hardcore game modes. The FFAR is not a standout gun. You actually can't even get a one-shot kill to the body in hardcore if he's at full health. However, headshots will be quite effective with this and allow you to get that one-shot kill, aside from the minimum damage range where you do need the CHF barrel plus a headshot if you want to maintain a one-shot kill. Next up, let's have a look at our Hipfire, which is just a little bit worse than average for assault rifles, so not a standout in this area, but it's also not horrible. It's just slightly worse than average. And now let's have a look at our recoil, which honestly isn't that bad considering the rate of fire of the gun. I wouldn't call this a highly accurate gun by any means, but it's not that difficult to get this recoil under control. It does kick upward with a slight lean to the right at first, and then it will cut over to the left. And in the process, you will be seeing some side-to-side bounce or deviation from that recoil path, which is the harder part to get a handle on since you can't realistically control that by hand. As for the CHF barrel, this does increase our recoil quite a bit, and with this gun, I'm just not a fan of the CHF barrel. That's too much recoil for my liking. Whereas the rapid fire, it's not quite as bad as the CHF barrel, but at the same time, I don't feel like I need rapid fire on this gun since it has such a great time to kill without it. So generally speaking, I don't use either of those attachments. As for our handling stats, our aim down sight time is a bit on the slow side at 285 milliseconds, and it's a similar story with our sprint to fire time. It's a little worse than average for assault rifles at 200 milliseconds for our standard sprint out time and 300 milliseconds for our tactical sprint out time. Then when it comes to slide to fire and dive to fire times, those are both just standard for assault rifles. And now let's get into our reload times, and our standard reload add time is 1.9 seconds, which is quite slow for an assault rifle. And with the base magazine at just 30 rounds, we will have to reload fairly often with this gun. So this is definitely an area where you probably want to run some form of a magazine attachment, whether that's the fast or flip mag to improve our reload speed, or one of the extended mag attachments to improve our capacity. Either way, I would recommend using a magazine attachment. And then finally for the base stats of this gun, let's get into our mobility stats. And for everything outside of our aim walking speed, we're a little bit below average with the FFAR. It's not really designed to be a highly mobile assault rifle. It's not like it's way slower than the rest of the assault rifles or anything, it's just below average. Whereas when it comes to our aim walking speed, that is pretty much standard for an assault rifle at 3.2 meters per second. And that wraps it up for the stats of the FFAR. Now let's get into some excellent attachment combinations I put together for you guys. And the first one is my preferred build. This is my balanced stealth build. And with this, we're using the suppressor to stay off the radar, the long barrel, of course, that's an absolute must-have on this gun, outside of one exception that I'll share in a little bit. We've got the new G-grip on there, and that's largely because it helps with recoil stabilization, which helps a lot with the FFAR. It helps eliminate that side-to-side bounce that's really uncontrollable, while also giving us the partial effects of the Strelok laser, so we don't have to worry as much about our aim down sight time being slower. I don't have to use an attachment to improve our aim down sight speed because of that. I get nice accuracy as I'm transitioning from Hipfire to aim down sight. And by the way, if you guys missed the full breakdown I did on the G-grip attachment, where I go into great detail with that attachment, I will leave that video linked down below. But next we have extended mag 1 on that, just so we don't have to reload quite as often. And then finally the CQB grip. Since I didn't feel the need to improve my aim down sight speed, it's still nice to improve our sprint out time, slide to fire time, and dive to fire time with this. And this just makes for a really nice, highly dominant assault rifle as long as you're keeping yourself within about 26 meters, which is very easy to do on the maps in this game. And this setup is absolutely deadly. Now, in saying that, if you want to go with the Gunfighter wildcard, this is an excellent setup that is a very accurate version of the FFAR. With it, we've got the Kepler Microflex optic, the compensator, the long barrel, the Ranger foregrip to help a bit with horizontal recoil control while also improving our sprint speed, so we can also be a bit more versatile with this. We once again have extended mag 1 on this, the ergonomic grip to help with our aim down sight speed, slide to fire time, and dive to fire time, the infiltrator pad so we can strafe faster in gunfights, and then finally recoil springs just to help that little bit more with that recoil control. And as you can see, we get a very accurate version of the FFAR, so you can stretch out a little bit better, and you'll just be missing fewer shots overall. And just all around, this is a very versatile way to use this if you don't mind using the Gunfighter wildcard. And then finally, I've got one last niche build to share with you guys. This is a tac stance build. Since we do have quite a high fire rate, and high fire rate tends to lend itself well to tac stance setups. With this one, we're just using the suppressor, no long barrel this time, and that's largely just due to the fact that you should probably be keeping your gunfights within 16.5 meters, which is our standard maximum damage range. So this is like the one exception where I won't use the long barrel on this. We're once again using extended mag 1, the CQB grip, since sprint out time is going to be more important than aim down sight time with a tac stance build. We've got the infiltrator pad so we can strafe really quickly while in tac stance, and then finally the tactical laser itself so we can use tac stance on the gun. Now, I wouldn't say this is the best tac stance build in the entire game or anything, I just found that it works quite well with the FFAR due to the fire rate, and I wanted to share a build for you guys just for a change of pace. And with that, that's going to wrap it up today's gun guide on the FFAR. As for my thoughts on this gun, I think with no attachments, it fits into the game nicely. Just like with the LC-10, it sort of fits that SMG assault rifle hybrid role, but on the assault rifle side of things, whereas the LC-10's on the SMG side of things. However, the moment the long barrel enters the equation, that's what suddenly makes this gun very dangerous, and I would say arguably a little bit too powerful. Probably a bit on the OP side. That, of course, is just my opinion, though, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about the FFAR in those comments down below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think without the long barrel, it's just pretty good and a nice addition? With the long barrel, maybe a little too good? Or do you think it's balanced just fine as is, even with the long barrel in the equation? Just let me know all of those thoughts down below. And if you guys have missed any of the previous gun guides, including the new LC-10, I have covered that one. I will leave a link to the playlist in the description of the video. If you enjoyed this one, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.